So today we're going to do a blind battle of two bottled and bonds. These two here. This relatively new Bulleit bottled and bond against this more well-established Old Forester 1897 bottled and bond. Now, Bulleit is, been around for a while, but this particular one is relatively new. It's Bulleit's first bottle that is their own distillate as opposed to being sourced. And this is part of the Old Forester Whiskey Row series. Both bottled and bonds, 100 proof, with all the requirements that come with bottled and bond. I chose these two for a few reasons. First of all, these two are ones that, I like, but they're not like my absolute favorite bottles. But they also have something in common, and they are, to me, improved versions of other bottles. The Bulleit Bulleit has never been my favorite. I do believe this is better than their base expression. Have not really been a fan of much of their other stuff. The only way it was like in a mixed drink, old fashioned Manhattan. I do think this is better, so it's certainly an improvement of before. This one here, I did in a blind against the regular 100 proof the regular 100 proof. And it was kind of curious to do that because they're both 100 proof. This was clearly better than the regular Old Forester 100 proof screw top. But it also, originally when I had it, I really didn't like it. Came back to it, liked it more. I do think the ones in the Whiskey Row series 1910, 1920 are better. So basically, these are better than other expressions from their lineups. Ones that I like better than I did before, certainly with this one, because I've had this one before. An improvement, but nothing that's off the charts to me. And lastly, they're both relatively, hot, what I'd call it high rye bourbons. The Bulleit, I think more so. It's not disclosed, but if we're going to go by the mash bill of the other Bulleits, it's 68 corn, 28 rye full malted barley. That's a decent rye. This one a little bit less. This one, I know what the mash bill is, 72 corn, 18 rye, 10 malted barley. But if you go by the standard of, Wild Turkey with the rye punch, that's 13. So you got 28, you got 18 here. Let's pour them up, mix them up. I'm curious out of this one, which will come up first, which will come up better. They both, to me, have distinct profiles, so I think I'm going to be able to pick them out. But I said, what the heck, let's just do it as a blind. Let's go. Okay, so we got them poured up, mixed up, have no idea which one is which. I really didn't look at the color. I thought they were relatively comparable, but as always, I'll just look ahead. I think these profiles are going to become apparent to me because I think each one is distinctive, but yet an improvement on the one before. This an improvement certainly on the regular 100 proof. This an improvement on the base Bulleit. But again, that's also, by the way, that's also, at least that one is the same proof as this. This one is 100 proof bottled and bond. The base is 90. I did it against the, the barrel proof, which was higher. But I think they have their own distinct, regardless of proof, they have their own distinct nose and taste. But let's see. Yeah, I think this is kind of, I think I'm going to know which is which, but it's more so which do I like better. All right, I'm thinking, just by the nose, I'm thinking that we have it in the order here, Old Forester Bulleit, but let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay, cheers. I think I am right on that. But before I look at the label, let me just see which one I truly like better. This is, okay. I think if they know which one or which. For some reason, I think I'm actually like this a little bit better between these two, which if it's Bulleit would be an absolute shocker. I think this is the Bulleit bottled and bond. Bulleit. Old Forester. Wow. Okay, so that is a shocker to me because, first of all, it's not a shocker. Clearly, these have very distinct profiles. Could tell them apart. But for some reason, and my problem with this one, which initially there was the reason I probably didn't like it, was originally I thought it had something that I'd become accustomed to. There was some type, originally I used to think it was kind of like some, I don't know, kind of a bitter note in there that I've come to like, but I noticed it picked up here. This is a different type of a note completely. But I mean, I picked it up more, so I can identify which is which easily. All right, well, This is surprising because I don't think a Bullet has ever won any blind of mine. I mean, the Bullet Barrel Proof lost. That was the only blind I did with the Benchmark Foolproof. Benchmark Foolproof lost every blind, even though it kind of hung in there. But that was the whole point of doing it. But it lost to the Bullet Barrel Proof. It's the only blind that the Benchmark Foolproof won. So this one, I did say this was an improvement, being their own distillate, being 7 years over their other base expressions that was sourced. So for this one, again, regardless of the results, these are not two of my favorites. They was the ones that I like more than I used to. Certainly from the entire lineup here, this one being better than the 100 proof. But for this one, Bullet Bottled in Bond, it actually is an improved bottle, an improvement over their other expressions and their own distillate. Cheers.